So in this segment, we're going to be discussing the UK's gas storage levels are concerningly low, with less than a week of demand in store. The operator of the country's largest gas supplier said.
Let's just bring you up to date with some breaking news that's come here to Sky Centre in the last couple of minutes. And that is a warning from Centrica, of course, who operate the largest gas storage site in the UK, saying that Britain's gas storage levels are concerningly low, with less than a week of gas demand in store following, of course, the cold snap that we've seen across the country. So they are warning, and we rely quite heavily on gas in this country, particularly for home heating, that the current levels are concerningly.
So you can use your gas reserves when the day rate of gas, to buy in is very expensive. We're outside of the EU's kind of, I think it's an energy regulatory scheme, so like countries don't have to pay a ridiculous amount for gas. I think the member states pay like a similar amount, so there's protections in there for member states, which obviously we're not part of anymore. The other problem we have is we sold off a lot of our gas storage or closed it. I think Centrica wanted subsidies under the May government, and May, got rid of them. She said no, and so what that means is, like, for the UK to buy gas in on the days where demand is very high, we're paying an exorbitantly high rate. So we're paying for it, based on the winter rates, whereas other countries have huge amounts of gas storage. I think Italy is one of them. So they pay less because on the days where the energy rate is very high, they can just use their reserves. And, on the days where maybe Italy's a bit warmer and the UK is a bit colder, they can sell off their gas to us at a very high rate. It's silly. Again, like certain things where it's just absurd the way the UK set up. And this would be a failure of the Conservative government, because you're meant to buy the gas in the summer when it's cheapest, when there's the least amount of demand for it. Then you store it over the winter. And then when the days you need it, you just use it. So it's just baffling to me. Like, this hasn't been resolved. Here Centrica talking about it. Plunging temperatures and high demand for gas-fired power have reduced the UK's winter storage to concerning levels. Yesterday, UK storage sites were 26% lower than at the same time last year. And do you know who's going to be paying for the increased prices? The consumer. They already raised the energy price cap recently. It's crazy to me. So yeah, there's no risk of an immediate shortage of supplies to homes and businesses. I imagine that we won't see necessarily a shortage or huge kind of power cuts or anything like that. I think what we'll see is just a massive price increase. That's what will happen here, and we'll be paying ridiculous amounts for gas when our neighbouring countries will not pay anywhere near as much. There was a graph out from the FT talking about how I think the UK pays like the highest amount for energy in Europe. And that's because of our dumb systems, the way they've been set up. Other countries pay way less. And that's partly because they have, nuclear power plants and things like that. And it's partly because their governments make better decisions, like, I don't know, filling up their gas reserves, for example. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It's probably going to be a cold one. Hopefully everyone's okay. And I'll catch you in the next one.